Good morning. This is my philosophy presentation for 1399 EDN. My name is Amy Gill. The profession of teaching in the 21st century is far more complex and regulated than it has ever been. Educators are required to not only hold the content knowledge that they will provide to their students, but a fundamental understanding of the purpose of education, the power of teachers, and the diverse social and cultural factors that impact on the educational pathways and outcomes for individual children. Philosophers from Plato to William James, Aristotle to John Dewey have impacted on the cultural perspective of education in the Western world and have shaped the way that aspiring teachers develop their own educational philosophy. An educational philosophy is a set of beliefs that a teacher develops to govern their curriculum and hidden curriculum in the classroom, mainly developing these beliefs through education at university, but also primarily from the current media, life experiences, educational experiences, religion, and the culture of their society. At present, I'm studying an education degree. I live and was born here in Australia, and however, my mother was born in Northern Ireland, and so I'm a second generation Australian. My family is full of teachers, police officers, nurses, philosophers, geologists, and small business owners, which has shaped many of my views and opinions in life. As I study my education degree, I am now required to begin to develop my own educational philosophy. Honestly, I was a bit stumped as to where to start, so I asked my mother what her philosophy was, as she is in her 10th year of teaching secondary education. She replied that her philosophy is that of a growth mindset and inclusiveness, explaining that growth mindset is the belief that the learning ability is not born with, and that everyone can learn and improve given the right support. Differences between individuals lie in time taken to learn a new concept. At first, I didn't find this overly helpful, as I was still unsure where my own beliefs lie. But when I thought back to how my mother approached our own education as we went through school, I can see that she has clearly carried a set of prior beliefs with her from before her formal education training. Mum always told us that everyone is talented at something, and we might not find what we are truly talented at for a long time, but that should never stop us from putting in 100% at school and life. When I realised that I don't have to scrape the barrels of my educational knowledge to find where my educational philosophy lies, I began to acknowledge what my current beliefs about students in the education system are. And before I have had much training, I, like my mother, believe that all students are capable of learning. I believe that practical experience and the implementation of theoretical knowledge is fundamental for a student to fully comprehend higher order thinking skills. I believe that diversity only equals disadvantage when not recognised, celebrated, and encouraged. I believe that no child is the same. I will need to use multiple pedagogies to cater to an array of learning styles in a standard classroom. I strongly believe that it is the teacher's responsibility to be a lifelong learner. And I believe that students will struggle to learn what does not interest them if they can't see how it will apply to them in the real world. My beliefs around students and education align primarily with the learning theory of progressivism and the philosophy of pragmatism. Progressivism encourages the implementation of education and addresses students' interests, where the teacher is a guide of learner-centered education in which they learn through problem-solving and real-life experiences. The primary educational philosopher recognized for his work with pragmatism is John Dewey, an American philosopher in the early 20th century. Pragmatism recognizes that students should learn the process of discovery and self-sufficiency as much as the facts being taught, favoring action-oriented solutions where students create their own reality. As quoted in a study by Casanway, 2014, for Dewey, a democratic society must be mobile and dynamic. It is a society in which teachers know that what might work for one student might not work for another, which aligns with my belief that no child is the same. Pragmatic learning is vocationally directed, so every learning situation should lead toward increased practical competence, in which my belief that practical experience and implementation of theoretical knowledge is fundamental for a student to fully comprehend higher order thinking skills strongly correlates with. Now that I am aware of what educational philosophy I currently align with, I can use this as a foundation for structuring my pedagogies, curriculum, and hidden curriculum, and to be aware of the purpose of education, the power of teachers, and the diverse social and cultural factors that impact upon the educational pathways and outcomes of individual children. I am to continuously develop my educational philosophy and to fulfill my own responsibility to remain a lifelong learner. Thank you.